Hi everybody, I'm Lady Lavender, and welcome to the very first segment of Lavender Loves Literature. Today we're going to be talking about a very special book. It's my favorite book of all time, A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle. Yeah! Okay, so that's what's going to be on here today. Keep watching, and I hope you enjoy it. Story time! Okay, so Meg, Charles Wallace, and Calvin O'Keefe are the three main characters in A Wrinkle in Time, and their whole mission in this story is to travel across the universe to save Meg and Charles's father from a planet called Camazotz, which is controlled by this uh, dark force, this darkness that is slowly devouring the universe. Um, so they're aided by three stars who actually have given their lives as stars up in this battle against the darkness that's controlling the universe. Pretty incredible. So, a little bit more about the darkness, though. That's just a brief overview of the story. Obviously, there's much more, but I was wanting to get into a little bit more of like symbolism and what really the darkness I think it symbolizes. In the very beginning of Meg and Charles's and Calvin's journey, they meet the happy medium, and she tells them or helps them figure out what the darkness is and who's been fighting it. So leaders like Jesus and Buddha and Martin Luther King Jr., Gandhi, these forces of extreme and purity and peace have been the main fighters from Earth in the battle against the darkness. This is the reason why Meg, Charles, and Calvin are the ones who are chosen to go on the journey to save their father. In order to actually defeat the darkness, defeat it, which is the form of the darkness on the planet Camazotz, you have to have this pure intentions that can't be swayed by other people, and you can't be a conformist. As you know, all these rulers that have been aforementioned were definitely nonconformists. They were not ones to go with the flow, or they weren't like other people. So in the very beginning of the story, you get a background on the fact that Meg and Charles Wallace are most certainly not like other people. They are constantly teased and ridiculed because they're different, and there's no possible way that they can pretend to be like normal people. They have such a trouble fitting in. Calvin, however, it seems as though he fits in. But he, on the inside, knows that he doesn't, which is why he can go on this journey with Megan Charles Wallace. Because even though it looks like he fits in, he truly inside of himself, he knows that he doesn't, and he's fine with that, and he is actually content with that. And each of them has a unique strength that, when all added up together, sort of create this whole unique force that can battle it successfully. So Meg has her emotion. This emotion you see throughout the book is driven by righteous and pure causes, such as most of the time it's protecting the people that she loves. She'll protect Charles Wallace when others tease him. She wants to protect her father when he's on Camazotz. And she wants to protect Calvin from any emotional pain that he might feel. So now we have Charles Wallace. His skill, his trait that is very important to the story, intelligence. So, although Charles's pride often gets in the way of his pursuit for intelligence and knowledge, when he actually is pursuing it, it's for just and pure causes. He pursues knowledge because he feels that it will help him help other people. We have emotion and now we have intelligence. Two things that usually don't go together, which is why we need two separate people to have those character traits. Calvin, his character trait is a lot subtler. It's not explosive like Meg or misinterpreted like Charles Wallace's. Calvin, to me, strength is definitely moral. He has this intense moral compass that guides him right and wrong, um, and he sort of guides the group when they're on Camazotz to make the right decisions. So we have emotion, intelligence, and morality. Those are the three characteristics of the children that help them work together and defeat it on Camazotz. Okay, so really quickly, I just want to touch on what I think the darkness symbolizes: society. Basically, when people get together in a group and they feed off of one another's immorality, weaknesses, flaws, and it sort of builds up into this unstoppable motion. Conformity is part of the darkness's power. It If people want to be like other people, then the darkness will have more control over them. And that way it sort of traps a lot of people, especially older people who have gone through life and are more cynical than the younger people who haven't experienced such pain or suffering. So that is the darkness's one power, and it's not used to being defined. Most people want to fit in, but Meg, Calvin, and Charles Wallace defied it. Literally, they defied it. So that was part of the reason why they were successful. So that is just a brief discussion about some aspects that I feel are really important in A Wrinkle in Time. Uniqueness is what makes life worth living. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure.